Hey everyone, how's it going? Kevin here with Push to Talk. I just got finished watching this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. It is Sunday afternoon, so I'm a little late to the party this week. I don't like it when Dynamite airs on Saturdays. Unfortunately, it's going to air on Saturday again this coming week. I didn't watch Dynamite last night because I actually had friends over yesterday and we did like a little miniature LAN party thing, and we played that new Back for Blood game from probably about 11 o'clock a.m. in the morning till about, I would say, 10 o'clock p.m. At night, with like maybe one or two breaks in there in between. That game's fantastic. If any of you out there like video games, especially cooperative games that have like crossplay and on Game Pass, I highly recommend this thing. It's basically Left 4 Dead 3. But that aside, let's get into the Dynamite review here this week, and let's just jump straight into it. So the first segment, we have CM Punk. He is out doing his entrance before he gets on the commentary. It's getting a little old, but I see why they do it. People really pop for this guy. Folks still really love CM Punk, so they'll probably continue doing this for a little bit longer, but I wouldn't be surprised if they start to kind of, tone that down here over the next few weeks. What I did really like about the CM Punk entrance, though, is that it was immediately cut off, the music and the lights and everything, just complete black, to transition into the very first match, which was Dante Martin versus Malakai Black. So after CM Punk's entrance is totally cut off, the lights are out, Malakai Black's entrance begins with the cool metal music and the cool atmosphere. This was a really cool transition, and I liked it a lot. After he comes to the ring, we have Dante Martin coming to the ring as well. He's with Lio Rush. I was really excited for this match. This is one of the ones I was really looking forward to this week. So the match starts off with some really good wrestling. Malachi is hitting some super deep arm drags to begin with. He is really throwing Dante Martin around and slamming him. This stuff looked really good here. Malachi also hits a really awesome powerbomb counter on Dante Martin at one point after Dante springboards off the top ropes and tries to kind of like land onto Malachi. Malachi instead catches him and absolutely just obliterates him with this powerbomb. And right after, he transitions straight into a single leg Boston Crab. So I thought that was a really cool little combination. From there, Malachi really starts to target the leg of Dante Martin, which I thought was great psychology, because as Punk pointed out on the announce team, that Dante Martin's brother and tag team partner is currently out with a knee injury. So I thought this was cool psychology on Malakai Black's part. He's kind of like preying on the mental weakness of Dante Martin here. It's something Malachi as a character would do, and I think that's really cool. We also get another cool combo from Malachi at one point when he hits a Meteora from the top rope, then right into a high kick to the head of Dante Martin, and then boom, straight into a German suplex pinning combination. So I thought that was really great. And actually, before that, rewinding a little bit, we get a really cool move from Dante when he runs through the ring, like across the ring, and just effortlessly jumps up to the top rope, springboards off of it in a front somersault senton onto Malakai Black, who is standing on the outside on the rampway. That was nuts. That looked really crazy, and the crowd popped really huge for it. With chants of AEW. So that was a really great moment too. There's also a point where Malachi has Dante in a single leg crab again, and then he like lets go of the submission and starts coughing and holding his ribs a little bit. Punk on commentary wonders if this has anything to do with the black mist that we saw Malachi spit last week. And I'm also wondering if this plays into kind of this like corruption that Malachi hinted at when he was on this last week's episode of the Unrestricted podcast, or maybe it was the week before, but he did talk about like his character being corrupted by some sort of darkness, which also plays into like the corpse paint that he wears underneath his eye. So I think he's going somewhere with this in his character. I think this is great character development. I'm glad they're giving Malachi the freedom to kind of express himself through this character work, and it's really good stuff here. Malachi does end up hitting the black mass for the 1-2-3, and I thought this was a fantastic match. For me, it was my favorite match of the night. Malachi's one of my favorites. The next segment, we have Jurassic Express backstage doing an interview. They're attacked by the Elite. The Elite finally hits that big power bomb that they botched last week on Luchasaurus, this time through a table. I thought that was a pretty cool thing, kind of a nod to last week and a little like tongue-in-cheek type of humor. In the next segment, we have Jericho out with the Inner Circle. They start cutting a promo on American Top Team, or rather Santana starts cutting a promo on American Top Team. But out comes Top Team to answer him. They have mega heat. People are just crapping all over them. They hate American Top Team, which is great. That's fantastic to see. Jericho grabs the mic and he just tears down Dan Lambert and American Top Team in typical classic Jericho fashion. Really good stuff here. Some people might think it's a little offensive, some of the stuff he said. I thought it was actually pretty witty and funny, so I enjoyed it. Jericho then issues a challenge to Top Team for a tag match. Dan Lambert says no type of thing, but like, yes, but only if you accept our stipulations, which you'll hear next week. I don't know what those stipulations are going to be. Like, I at first thought like maybe it's going to be another Blood and Guts or a War Games, but I think it's way too soon for that because we just had not too long ago the Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle in that War Games or Blood and Guts match. So I'm excited to see what those stipulations are. It might be cool. We'll see. We'll see where they go with this. In the next segment, we have Andrade out to announce his mystery luchadors who will be wrestling the Lucha Bros for the AAA Tag Team titles. Out come these two guys dressed in green, the Super Frogs as they are referred to. This one was spoiled for me pretty early on, actually. I knew it was FTR because I went on social media this morning. Whatever. Not a huge surprise to have things spoiled, but like, teaches me to go on social media before watching Dynamite. Punk also actually like spoils it early on commentary too, which I thought was pretty funny. He's like, there's no doubt that these guys are FTR. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty funny. We get lots of flying from the Lucha Bros in this match, dives to the outside like nobody's business. They are just hitting all of the big spots like absolute lunatics. This match was pretty short, but still entertaining. Tully Blanchard comes out for the distraction and allows FTR to grab the AAA belt. They hit Phoenix with the belt as he's like upside down mid-moonsault, which was pretty cool timing. I really liked that. FTR picks up the win for those belts, and it looks like we're setting up a feud here, so that's pretty exciting. We are back from break, and FTR is backstage. Andrade appears to pay for the services of FTR to MJF here. This kind of makes sense because, like, I thought the pairing with FTR and Andrade was kind of random, but I guess he was, like, kind of hiring them as, like, hitmen type of thing or whatever to take down the Lucha Bros. So that was clear. They said it was a one-time deal between him and MJF, so good on them. I'm glad they explained that a little bit after the match. The next segment, we had poor Wheeler Yuta versus Jon Moxley. It was a kind of a random match, but, you know, it was a short match at least. Mox is out through the crowd, and you get a look at his back, and it's still pretty torn up from his match with Nick Gage, the death match that he had for the GCW title. Mox right out of the gate in this match is absolutely destroying Yuta. I don't think Wheeler Yuta got any offense in at all. He quickly hits the paradigm shift after about 45 seconds for the win. And then he just quickly leaves right back out through the crowd. Poor Wheeler Yuta here. He got absolutely destroyed. We then have Serena D backstage. She cuts a promo on the division, but she's attacked by Shida. Glad they're continuing this feud. The next match, we have the Super Click versus the Dark Order. It was the Young Bucks and Adam Cole versus Alex Reynolds, John Silver, and Evil Uno. I was really excited for this one when they first announced it. I just knew there was going to be some great comedy in this match, and there absolutely was. The Elite attacks the Dark Order right before the bell rings. You know what to expect with this type of match. It's going to be crazy spots and high flying and just boom, boom, boom the entire time, and that's exactly what it was. But to kind of punctuate that, they incorporated some really fantastic comedy here. My favorite comedy moment in the match was when Evil Uno pulls off the shoe of Nick Jackson and then pulls off the sock of Nick Jackson and proceeds to take the sock and place it over his hand like Mr. Socko, and he does the Mr. Socko mandible claw thing onto Nick Jackson. That was really funny, and the crowd loved it. They popped big, and I laughed pretty darn hard. There was another great comedy moment when the Young Bucks started doing the bouncing off the rope thing, when Adam Cole had a member of the Dark Order in the camel clutch. Once the Bucks start the bounce, they're quickly pulled out of the ring by Alex Reynolds and John Silver. They then start to do the bounce themselves. Adam Cole's eyes are closed. He still has Evil Uno in that submission. Then Alex Reynolds and John Silver do the kiss on each side of Adam Cole's face. We get a great reaction from Adam Cole once he realizes what's going on. I thought this was really, really funny. The Elite ends up picking up the win here with a BTE trigger followed by the boom from Cole. This match was nuts, exactly what I expected it to be. Lots going on, but it was a little hard to follow. I loved the comedy. The crowd loves this match, so I did too. People are going absolutely nuts for this thing. Jungle Boy attacks Adam Cole after the match. There's a point where Jungle Boy grabs a chair and he kind of holds it up to Brandon Cutler, and Brandon Cutler like sprays the chair with the cooling spray. And then we have Jungle Boy taking out Brandon Cutler with the chair. Thought that was pretty funny too. So good stuff here overall. Next, we have a segment where it shows Cody at his training facility or his school or whatever it is that he's at. He's getting beat up by the Nightmare family, and they're really, really giving him a hard time, obviously under the instruction of Arn Anderson. I guess they're trying to like rebuild Cody here, or the Nightmare family is, by giving him such a hard time. I still think Cody's going to turn heel. Next week on Dynamite, we do have Cody versus Malakai Black, so I think that is the time to do it. Maybe Cody joins Malakai Black. That might be cool. So we'll see what happens there. Next segment, we have MJF out to the ring, and he gets on the mic. He says he has a match for Darby Allin tonight, but our Darby doesn't show, and MJF is just reveling in this, just being a jerk like he does so well. MJF has Wardlow pull a ref into the ring, tells the ref to start the 10 count to disqualify Darby Allin. At 9, all of the lights go off and Sting's music plays. Sting is in the ring with the bat. He attacks Wardlow with the bat, and MJF runs like a little coward. Next segment, we have Anna Jay backstage, but she is interrupted by Britt Baker. A fight ensues. Cool. Next match, we have Kiera Hogan versus Penelope Ford. It's nice to see that the women's division in AEW seems to be getting a little bit more screen time, especially in this episode of Dynamite. I think that's great. This was a pretty decent match here, but nothing really super stood out to me. I was a little boring. Kiera Hogan does seem good. I liked on commentary where Punk was like, so has anyone asked to Kiera Hogan? There has to be some type of relation there, right? Obviously referring to Hulk Hogan. That was pretty funny. After the match, after Kiera Hogan loses to Penelope Ford, I'm pretty sure she lost, Ruby Soho comes out and attacks Penelope, building onto that feud. So it was okay little segment, I guess. Next, we have a promo from Miro, and it is a fantastic promo. He is questioning his god now after losing the title. I can't wait to see what they do next with Miro. I think he's absolutely fantastic. After that, we have a Hangman interview in the ring. He cuts a really, really great babyface style promo. I highly recommend seeking this one out. I think it's probably one of Hangman's best promos to date. We are going to get Kenny Omega versus Hangman at Full Gear. Finally, I'm so excited for that storyline to finally play out. It has been a long time coming. I think it's been almost 2 years. They've been building this story, so I'm really, really excited for that. And the last match, the main event, which was amazing, was Bryan Danielson versus Bobby Fish. I was really, really excited when this match was announced. Obviously, these are two really skilled wrestlers who work a really similar style and have a similar build. They're absolutely going to put on a great match, and they certainly did here. Bobby Fish strikes are brutal right off the bat in this match. He is hitting really, really hard, and he immediately starts to target the leg of Bryan Danielson. Fish does control most of the match, but Danielson hits a really high angle German suplex at one point, with the kind of leg up from Bobby Fish. He was really high angle. That one looked kind of sketchy. Danielson then starts to answer with attacks to Fish's legs at one point. There's another point where Bobby Fish hits a really gnarly backdrop suplex. Again, super high angle on Bryan Danielson, right on his head and neck. That looked wicked. There was another great point in the match where Fish hits an avalanche Falcon Arrow into the pin, but Danielson kicks out. Fish immediately transitions directly into a knee bar up after the kick out, so that makes sense. He's a good wrestler. That's what a good wrestler would do. That's what a good competitive wrestler would do. Danielson then reverses that knee bar into a knee bar of his own, and he's delivering kicks to the face of Bobby Fish while the knee bar is applied. He transitions that knee bar into a heel hook, which looked really cinched in pretty tight, and Bobby Fish taps out. This was an excellent match, and it was my second favorite of the night. I really like these Bryan Danielson matches so far. They're really great competitive matches, and they're really, really believable. And they look like a real sport, the way that he wrestles in these. So I'm a big fan of that. Bryan Danielson's amazing. Bobby Fish is amazing. These guys just tore it down. I thought that was an absolutely fantastic match. Overall, I thought this was a pretty good episode of Dynamite. The Malachi match was my favorite. I'm excited to see more character development there and building between him and Cody. Can't wait for that match next week. And we are going to enter the AEW title Eliminator tournament. So I guess the winner of that will face either Hangman or Kenny Omega. So I'm excited for that one. I think Bryan Danielson's probably going to win that one, but I guess depends. We'll see. Like if a heel wins it, then we know Hangman's walking away with that title from Kenny. So we'll see where it goes from there. I'm not going to overthink it too much, but it was a pretty enjoyable episode of Dynamite overall. I hate it when they air Dynamite on Saturdays. Saturdays are usually my day for video games. I think even next week I'll probably save the recap and watch it on Sunday and review on Sunday. Just because I want to get some gaming time in. I'm not going to lie. So again, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please follow me on Instagram. I am Push to Talk 1, and I will see you all next time.